Yeah, I feel for them. I hope they get the. I think it'll come around.
The SAG-AFTRA strike. Yeah, right here. Negotiations cratered over AI, streaming revenue sharing, pay hikes, and more. Can you get to that article just a little bit?
That's tough.
I did like what Fran Drescher said. I thought it was pretty cool. Did you see her video?
No, the nanny?
Yeah.
I used to have a crush on her as a kid.
Who didn't, dude?
It's a weird choice that she's the head of this. How did it become her?
Well, the funny thing was a lot of people didn't know, right?
Yeah.
Because like you get the things in the mailbox that's like vote for this person, you know, and I always try to vote for like I vote for like the wildest person to put in there because sometimes they're on there,
right?
You know, it's like Wendy Williams,
yeah,
like,
Kanye, yeah, or Robert F. K. Jr.
Yeah, let's put somebody in there, who's really gonna make something happen.
Yeah, let's shake it up. Oh, here we go.
Frankly, how far apart we are on so many things. How they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs. It is disgusting. Shame on them. They stand on the wrong side of history at this very moment. We stand in solidarity, in unprecedented unity. Our union and our sister unions and the unions around the world are standing by us, as well as other labor unions.
That's good. That's interesting, huh? I mean, I feel like she really you definitely feel what she's saying.
Yeah, they got millions and they can't give the writers some.
I know.
The residuals thing is a bummer.
Well, I think a lot of it goes back to just the history of people not getting residuals. You know, it's like all those years of people on shows and you hear that they didn't make any money from them. You know, like you hear that a lot about the cast from like Saved by the Bell and stuff like that. Like they were on those hit shows.
Right.
And it just wasn't part of their deals.
I know.
So I think a lot of you have that old energy that's built up. So she went through all that. You know? The problem is on Twitter, you have so many people that come out against her and are like, "Oh, here's a millionaire," you know, trying to say what the regular person wants, and it's like, but still, somebody has to speak up, you know.
Yeah, and I think they'll be fine, but that sucks to be a writer and just like, we're not gonna pay you.
Well, also because a lot of the writers, they work on spec, you know. They do a project first and bring it forward.
Oh, yeah.
So I think when you partner in the fact they're doing all of that work, and then which some of those things never lead to anywhere.
True.
I mean, how many friends do we have that have probably written 5 scripts? I've written 3 scripts.
I've written 1 million packets. SNL, whatever, TV show.
Yeah, and they just steal your jokes.
Yes.
Like, hey, here's my jokes. And like you never hear back.
I know. You actually have to sign a thing when you turn in a packet that says, "Hey, this is not yours anymore. You send it to us." And you're like, that's my best sketch. I need that. Let me shoot it if you're not going to hire me.
It really is, man. It's such a it's a sick business, and there's never any accountability. You don't know once you send that packet off what happens.
Yeah.
And then now you have all these. Yeah, you have a lot of actors, and I guess they're worried about AI, which makes sense. You know, they're worried about all of that.
AI is getting good, man. People send me jokes that they put in AI in my voice, and I'm like, that's pretty good. That's better than anything I ever had. Also, I'm a robotic guy who tells jokes.
Wow.
You know, now AI is taking my shit.
It's a good point, huh?
Yeah, it's scary.
But I think maybe that's
really hard time delaying gratitude.
Yeah.
Which is why they overeat, which is why they don't exercise, which is why they take pills. They want it now.
Jerking off even.
Yeah?
The number one.
Is that your number one?
I mean, it has definitely for my 20s.
Do you try not to look at porn?
Yeah.
How's that go?
I mean, it's gone better. If I'm real honest with you.
Being real honest.
I'll say this, though. I do believe, and there's probably a lot of men, that if you lay on your back and masturbate, have you done this?
I like how you just pointed at him.
I have no idea where you're going with this. I don't know.
If you lay on your back and jerk off with your legs in the air.
You keep saying this. Have you actually been doing
I don't know that I've done that.
I saw somebody drew it somewhere, and I saw it.
Someone drew it like a diagram. This is the gayest thing ever.
I'm just saying.
Something about feet up in the air, whack it off.
You guys need to get your lives together.
Yeah,
man.
we do. I'm learning from you.
You guys have
Please
changed.
tell me more.
No, you guys have changed a lot. I'm just saying, if we could decipher the wind, we would figure all this out.
Maybe it's the Earth itself is trying to give us messages.
I got a video for you guys.
What's this? What is Biden doing? He fell down again?
Yeah.
Is this today?
Yeah.
Okay. I
some
can't.
speech.
I can't anymore.
Well, here's the sad thing, man.
I
And I
can't.
say this because, look, my dad was 70 when I was born. My dad was an old man.
Yeah.
So I grew up around a lot of, like, environments where sometimes people would take advantage of my dad because he was old.
But he just fell. He didn't even fall for a reason. He
Right,
just
but it's just
fell.
not fair. Like, at a certain point, you can't. It's not cool to old people to do that to them.
No.
Like, he doesn't know this is happening to him.
Yeah, but he kind of does, and he's kind of a cunt.
Well, that could be true, but he doesn't know.
He's always been a cunt, though. If you go back and listen to that guy lying about his education record and lying about his accomplishments, and like he's always been a problem.
Yeah, politician, that whole.
Yeah.
It's a fucking.
And also all the fucking stuff with his son and the ties to Ukraine and China and the money. The family they got paid millions of dollars, and everyone's trying to obscure it because, well, it's better than Trump. Better than Trump. If that guy was a Republican, they would be up his ass with a microscope.
I know, it is unbelievable.
But he represents the what they thought was like a sane alternative to what President Trump was.
Yeah.
They thought this is insane. Donald Trump is the president. Fuck that. Anything is better than him. And so they went with this corrupt career politician.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild stuff, man. They even got the FBI involved in telling Twitter to censor the
that was
information about the
unbelievable.
laptop. It's crazy.
But how do we get out of that space? How do we, because we're starting to turn into one of those kind of like Central American countries where the government is so like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It used to be a long time ago, like if the secrets of our country got out, like during Watergate or whatever, right?
Yeah.
People were like, fuck no. But now if the secrets get out, people are like, fuck yes, tell us what's going. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting how that's kind of changed. Like
Yeah.
before it would be like if any like top secret documents or whatever were released, it would seem like wrong.
Well,
But now if they're released, we want to know what it is. It's like, does that make any sense?
Well, when was top secret documents released that are showing that someone is behaving in an illegal way where it's bad? I mean, Watergate. That was what Watergate was all about.
Yeah.
They found out that Nixon was spying. I mean, I think the problem is that, first of all, the media is overwhelmingly left-leaning. And if you have a left-leaning politician or a left-wing Democratic politician, and then you have this media that essentially works to support that person, I mean, they ignore any information that leads to distrust in the government or distrust in this administration or distrust in this party, this political party.
Yeah. It's the dark arts, man.
It is the dark. That's the real dark arts.
It really is. And you know what? What I think one thing that we need, I think would be nice. What if I wish there was an app, right? And everybody has an app idea. But I wish there was an app where when you went to a business, you could tell where they put their political money, right? So then it would start to affect the bottom lines of companies. So then those companies would stop. Because I think you have to get
Well, little of that's going on right now with all the woke shit. Like Target lost billions of dollars because they tried to have this pride selection.
Oh yeah, gay mannequins.
Yeah, they had all these like pride children's shirts and
Gay children.
yeah, and then
Sorry.
obviously the Bud Light thing with Dylan Mulvaney. They've lost $20+ billion. You imagine you just gonna send a fucking can to some confused person that day 365 of womanhood, and you send that person a fucking can with their face on, and your company loses $20 billion. That is wild shit, man. So we're seeing that now where we never saw that before, where people are going, enough.
Right.
Enough. Stop shoving this down everybody's throat. When I go to Target, I don't want to see like fucking tuck pants where like they're designed to help you tuck your dick. Like, hey, that's not normal. And I don't want that right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
It's
I don't want to
weird.
see a diaper for a baby where they can hide his dick under him or whatever.
Yeah. That's I don't think they have those, but
why would they will soon.
They might. But there's a lot of just fucking real weirdness with this group of people that is trying to like change the way people view sexuality and gender and all these different. It's like they're proselytizing. It's not as simple as they're.
You would stop that I would think you would stop that. Say if they had an application where I could say, okay, I'm going to go buy coffee, I'm going to go buy a hat, I'm going to buy a corset, whatever I want to get, and I can look on this app first.
I'm just picturing you with a cup of coffee, a hat, and a corset.
Yeah, dude, whatever, dude. You got to fucking look out for yourself, dude.
I'm picturing you buck naked with a corset on, drinking a cup of coffee with a hat on.
I'm fully clothed,
jerking off
bro.
with your feet in the air.
Hey, bro. Hey, dude.
You've changed.
No,
you
bro.
fucking changed, bro.
You got the fucking wrong idea, dude. What's in these?
A lot. Take another sip of that. Get yourself right.
But if there was an app, though, that's what I want. An app where I say, if I support this company, right, with
what does
my
that
money,
support?
What does that company support?
Right.
Because then I think you're going to get a lot of people are going to be able to support, at least put their money where their beliefs are.
I think there's a thing like that. There's like there's an app that shows like America, like supported America apps.
Yeah, but you need an even one. You need one that's like, but for both, you need one that's down the middle.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, there's a lot of companies now that are like really emphasizing American made.
Yeah.
What if these melatols are American made? Woof.
Ooh.
I'm a part of a company called Origin, and Origin produces. They make everything in America.
My wife's the same way. My wife's not relying on, my wife will handle stuff.
Right.
Whatever it is, she can handle it.
Yeah, you got to get a capable. I mean, people. That's one thing. If you pick an incapable wife, dude, that's going to be sheer.
Yeah,
hell.
and the most part of that capable is emotionally capable, because when you end up with a spouse, whether it's the man or the woman, that relies on you to make them feel good emotionally, that's the one that will pick you apart. So you got to be careful. That one's a good one to look out for. So in the end of the day, I guess what I'm saying is you got to have balance. You got to build a strong structure. And the point I was going to say with this guy is Jace, while you're investing in your family, you're building them. You're making your family stronger so that they can stand on their own, so that in the long run, you have more freedom in your life, because you won't have this family unit that's totally relying on you for every little thing.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, makes them better off in the world. When they grow up, they go out and they dominate the world because they're capable.
Yeah. Damn, dude. Yeah, I don't think anybody taught me shit growing up, dude. I don't know if I know
What about,
more.
didn't you learn a lot of stuff from Daniel?
Incapable. Oh, dude. Daniel was a fucking bad influence, dude. He was drinking hot hose water, bro. First sip.
Oh, no, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I heard you talking on the podcast about how, like, your first girl is sort of like the hot hose water. And I was thinking, well, that doesn't really make any sense. And then I realized it does, because here's what happens with the hot hose water. When you first start drinking it, it's all hot and uncomfortable. Yeah. But then all of a sudden you get to the cold part and you're like, oh yeah. So it's the same thing with your first girl. You're kind of like awkward. It's all like doesn't taste good. And all of a sudden you get kind of through that to the coldness and you're like, okay, this is good. So yeah, you do remember that first hose pipe.
Yeah.
Hitter.
Yeah. Wow, Jocko's loving that hitter, man. That's good, man. Dude, one of my first girlfriends had real short hair, dude, and she looked like a young man, Yeah. And I don't know if I really wanted to be her boyfriend, but I don't know if I had a choice.
Yeah, you were just
dude,
pawn.
Oh, bro. She used to, when the school bus would come, it would bring my brother and his friends from the bigger school, and they'd pick us up after. She would pick me up and start making out with me. Bro, it was so fucking embarrassing. And sometimes I would wrap my legs around her. I didn't know what else to do, bro. And they would fucking call us all kind of names and shit.
How old was she compared to you?
Man.
Like
I don't
27?
know. Yeah, I don't even know if she went to our school. It could have been a woman. But God, man, that was fucking, everybody has their Vietnam, That shit was insane, man.
The idea that we can't compete with each other, I think has something to do with it. To say, hey, we don't want to compete with each other. Like, no, actually, you are going to compete with people. And if you don't think you're going to compete, man, you're going to have a hard life, because life is about competition. And again, does this mean I'm competing with everyone? Does it mean I'm like, hey, I'm going to get more downloads than Theo, right? I don't really care, man. I hope you get more downloads than me. But I'm competing with you. I'm competing with myself. I want to do a better job. That's what we're doing, right?
And it brings everybody up.
Exactly. Whereas if you get told all the time, hey, you don't know being strong is bad. Hey, standing up for yourself is bad. Hey, if you have an opinion, it's better if you just accept everyone's opinion. It's like, no, actually, you can have your own opinion. That's okay.
Yeah.
And so I think a combination of those things I think that ends up putting in a certain generation has put guys in a situation where they look up and they say, there's something in them that wants to be a warrior, right? That wants to compete, that wants to fight, that wants to win, but they've never been able to nurture that thing.
Right.
It's never been given any water.
Right. And it's not even been allowed to even kind of peek its head around it.
Exactly. Because a mom or dad saying, no, it's okay. Everyone's a winner. It's like, no, actually, you feel it, right? You lose the game and you're like, man, I'm a loser. And someone says, no, it's okay. You're still a winner. You don't feel that way.
Fuck that. Sherman's a fucking loser, bro. That's what I remember. This one dude, and then this dude, one time they had this kid in our school named Sherman, right? And he was a fucking loser, bro. And he wasn't probably really, well, everybody thought he was a loser. He lost everything, dude. And then one day, the last day of school, I think in 4th grade, he somehow got some boom boxes and put them in the cafeteria, right? And turned them all on to Michael Jackson, right? This was the most ginger kid. He was so transparent. You could see him being alive. You could see all of his organs, right? I mean, just completely pale. And he fucking did the entire Michael Jackson dance on the tables and just blew the entire universe open.
Right.
And after that, I don't even know what happened. I think he might have went directly to the moon. Like he was just a straight champion after that.
You know, my parents, it wasn't them being bad parents.
Right. It was just what was going on.
But it was just what was going on. The dang, what were they called? Funny bones. Have you ever had a funny bone before? It was like chocolate cup. It was like
Look it up, Nick.
It was kind of like a Twinkie situation, but it was chocolate. It had chocolate draped over it, but then the inside was a creamy peanut butter filling.
Ooh.
So you know, you could, and it wasn't no thing.
It sounds like the way I'd like to be buried, actually.
Yeah, it's not a bad deal. At least throwing a couple in there in a coffin. Boot, funny bones right there. Drake's. I couldn't remember that. Damn. So yeah, my mom would buy. You know, like they got the 10-pack right there. Yeah, my mom would buy like 3 of those and just be, hey, what are you gonna have for breakfast? A funny bone, maybe 3. So I think even though there's some things that make it easier to be less healthy nowadays, I think at least we're aware of it and we're not mainlining Coca-Cola in the morning.
Yeah, I guess there is. I remember, and as kids we would make that sound after we drank it. It was like that was like a big thing. But yeah, getting a Coke was, and your parents had Diet Coke, and you thought that was crazy. Like, what fucking creepy senior is sipping that shit? But yeah, it's like
I'm pretty sure I remember. I think I remember a world before Diet Coke. Actually, there was something called Tab.
Oh yeah,
you remember
I've seen
Tab?
That. It was really had a very strange font on the can.
I think that was the first kind of diet soda.
Oh really?
Yeah, that I can remember. Because Coke was just Coke. There wasn't even anything else. It was just like, it wasn't Coke Light and Coke everything else. It was just Coke.
Yeah.
With 97 grams of corn syrup per shot.
Yeah. Coke, and they're supposed to refresh you. That's insane when you think about that.
Yeah, but that's how it was.
But yeah, I guess I wonder if there was any positives to it. I mean, sugar's such a killer. Sugar's how much sugar's in this?
0.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what tastes good? What's making your sweetness?
Yeah, because I feel a little bit heated up.
Is that there's something called monk fruit in it, which is
religious. No,
it's something not very religious. It's something like 87,000 times more sweet than sugar. Or something. I don't know what the numbers, but it's something like that. So it's super sweet.
3 times softer than cotton, you mean?
Yeah. But it's a fruit. And so we just put a little bit of that in there and it makes it taste sweet and it tastes natural. So yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty smooth. That. So they're all go. Is Jocko go?
Yeah.
And do your kids have to drink it or not?
Yeah, there's too much caffeine in it for a kid. There's 95 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah. So are you gonna go crazy now?
I don't want to join the ROTC or something this afternoon.
No, it's like the same as a cup of coffee.
Okay.
So
would you guys did you do ROTC when you were younger?
No.
Because I remember there was this group at our school, it was like ROTC, and there was
for sure.
Nobody told us, first of all, what it was, right? Which was a huge alarm. Because suddenly after school, there would be these kids running around the school with wooden guns, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah. For me, I wasn't into that part of the military. I wasn't into thinking, hey, let's march around.
Yeah.
I was into the commando stuff. So what I actually got in trouble on the soccer team because I was leading runs and I was singing cadences. And I remember getting in trouble for, singing the cadence of Ho Chi Minh is a son of a bitch, which
Like,
I was into that kind of thing.
Were y'all playing Ho Chi Minh?
No, we were not playing Ho Chi Minh.
You're like, oh, it's a goal. It's a goal, not a foxhole. You're like, everybody out of the goal.
Yeah. So but we didn't even have ROTC in my school. I grew up in a really small town in New England. I think there was 85 people in my graduating class or something like that. Yeah, it's really small.
So was it more the leadership then was it? I'm trying to figure out, like, kind of pinpoint what it was. And was it?
Bro, do you remember when you were a little kid, like, pretending that a stick was a gun?
Oh yeah, G.I. Joe, all of that.
That's it, man. That's it. And that was just a real strong feeling for me. Every kid, that's all we did.
Yeah, most of the kids stopped doing that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't. And when people would look and say, "Oh,
you're fucking elbow crawling across the graduation stage."
People see somebody walking around with a briefcase when you're a little kid and be like, "Wow, that person, like, they're getting in a Cadillac. Like, whoa, that person's something like powerful, a banker or something."
Right.
And I'd never had that thought. I only thought, whoa, that guy's got a machine gun, or that guy's getting into a tank.
Yeah.
And that just was what I always wanted to do.
Wow. That's
so
cool,
So
man.
as you said, I just never stopped.
Yeah. I think there's also a thing, so I think it's that everybody's the same. There's this thing that it's not okay to be different or to, like, open up your mouth if you have a different perspective, because then at least you learn to be wrong. You learn to be right. You learn to, like, oh, well, maybe I am this way, or maybe I'm more this way, I think also there's a lot of things where a lot of parents aren't allowed to discipline their kids. And so a lot of kids don't feel, young people feel more like, our parents feel, I think, more like they're not allowed to kind of discipline, Like, when I was growing up, you got spanked. I remember my buddy's mom would beat my ass all the time. I'm like, I don't even fucking know this lady, but she would whoop my ass. And I'm so grateful that she did. It was I still can feel sometimes that hand hitting my, my thighs, but I think there's definitely a discipline thing that goes on out there.
All right, I want to know from Jocko, and Theo, I love you, boy. You're my boy, Theo, but I want to know how quick he thinks he'd be able to tap you out. Just because I think it'd be kind of interesting. I think some other people will want to know too, but you're still my boy, Theo. I fucking love you, bro. But how quick do you think, how quick does Jocko think he'd be able to tap you out? And then also, do you think you'd be able to tap him out? Like if you did like bath salts or something? Because I know that shit has people feeling loopy, bro. That's my question.
Dang, man. That's a good question, dude.
Have you ever trained jiu-jitsu before?
I mean, I've trained, like, I've chased, like, a small animal around the house,
Have you ever trained jiu-jitsu
No,
before?
I have not.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. It wouldn't take very long.
Okay.
It wouldn't take very long.
What do you think, 2 or 3 minutes?
And this is the thing, man, I always try to explain this to people. It's not because I'm a badass at all.
Right.
It's because I trained for a really long time. So what, like, sport are you really good at?
Probably outdoor activities, probably.
That's not a sport, bro.
Sorry. Let me think about something. Probably basketball.
Okay, so let's say let's say I never played basketball ever in my life.
Right.
And you and I played one-on-one.
Yeah.
Do you think I'd even score one single basket?
I bet you'd score 1 based on some of your abilities.
Okay, so one single basket and you beat me 11-1,
Yeah.
right? So in jiu-jitsu, it's the same thing. I know the game. You don't know the game at all. And so it would be really easy. It'd be really easy, not just for me, but anyone that trained jiu-jitsu.
What do you think, 3-4 minutes probably?
To tap you out?
Yeah.
No.
What if I was wearing, like, a real slippery suit or something?
That might gain you a little bit of time, but we're talking sub 1 minute.
Oh, no way.
Unless you're, yeah.
What if it's windy out?
You've trained before.
I'm good in the wind.
You've trained before, though, right? You've trained
No.
jiu-jitsu, hasn't? Okay, then yeah, then that's where that little hesitation, because that's what's amazing about it. Same thing when I first trained. I just graduated from SEAL training.
Jesus.
And I thought I was the man.
Yeah.
And I was 19 years old. I was, you just got done. It's the most elite training in the world and all this stuff.
At 19?
Yeah. And so this old Master Chief, like the oldest guy, I'd ever seen.
Jesus.
He was probably like 40. Right?
Yeah.
So
remember how old was when you were young?
Yeah, I was looking at him like, Grandpa, you
were
got
like,
nothing for
damn,
me.
Who's this old fucker with a driver's license?
So he goes, you know, who wants to learn how to fight? And I'm like, hey, me.
Yeah.
So he brings us out, brings us on the mat, and just lined up, there's like 5 of us new guys. And he tapped us all out.
Damn.
With less than a minute each. And that's what it is. That's what jiu-jitsu is. That's why people talk about it a lot. Because when it first happens to you, you can't even believe it. So and immediately when you get tapped out for the first time when you're 19 years old and you're like,
yeah,
I can take anybody.
Oh,
no, that's wrong because I don't know. Yeah, exactly. You're just pouring shots of your own urine.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
We didn't even give a fuck.
Just getting after that urine.
Oh, dude. Yeah, dude. I'd have half a quart, bro. Who gives a shit? Bro, at 19-year-old piss is fucking, you know how much testosterone's in that shit? Bro?
Actually, I do. Zero.
Yeah,
bro. Zero. So
I don't know, bro.
Out, you missed out.
You got to get to the bottom. There's something
Theoretically,
down there.
I like where you're at, but you're not really there scientifically. So, yeah, that's what happens. You just don't know, and jiu-jitsu is a really powerful, powerful thing. And you should go train sometime. You know,
I really want to go train, and I need to go train. I've been trying. What I've been focusing on this
You've
year.
been saying that for a while.
I know. Well, one of my fears is that I'm not flexible enough.
That has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with you not training. I have people that come to my gym that start jiu-jitsu when they're 52 years old.
Wow.
Or 43 years old or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can get in there and you can train. Be careful. You know, you don't want to train with like some 19-year-old kid that's been training for like 6 months.
Right.
That's all crazy.
Right. That has nothing to lose.
Don't go with him because he's gonna take your arm and put it on his wall at home and be like, that's THEO Von's arm. You see that one arm?
He's like, oh,
fool?
I got that hitter.
I got his other arm. So watch out for that guy. But other than that, if you find some people that are gonna relax and be cool, and yeah, you should definitely start training jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
The thing you should do is stretch. I mean, I hope you're
Yeah.
doing like some kind of stretching protocol. That's a no.
Yeah, that's a no. Yeah, that's a no. That started with a Y though.
Yeah.
It's a you know.
It's
but still, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I do know.
but that's why
I
I've
do
been
know.
trying
You know
to get
why?
a-
Because stretching is so unsatisfying.
Yeah.
I find it so unsatisfying. If there's the
Achilles heel.
the Achilles heel for me, or just the thing that I really don't like doing, even though I know it's beneficial, is I don't like stretching a lot.
Yeah.
So because you don't get.
Did you see that little kid, that Pentecostal kid recently? They had a kid who was speaking in tongues. He was a young preacher.
Now, growing up, did you go to church?
We would sometimes. My dad would take us over there. My dad was so old when I was young, when I was a child, and so he would walk over there to church and he'd fall asleep. He'd fall asleep wherever we were.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, I was kind of on my own wherever we went. You know, my dad was like, I'll introduce you to people. We'd sit down for a second till he could take a break, and then he'd be fucking dead asleep. Wow. So then I would just be kind of like in these places, and I had this sleeping father that felt uncomfortable. And then I was there and had to kind of like navigate some situations. That kind of stuff would happen a lot with my dad.
And what kind of church was it? Was it
Presbyterian?
Presbyterian.
Yeah. They had 3 nice oak trees, I remember. And they tried to do an insurance fire once or twice, but it didn't take. And great breakfast over there, though.
Right.
God, nothing will bring you home. You know, nothing will bring you to the Lord like a dang one of those donuts with pink frosting and
Well,
fried
I just
egg.
think of like different churches. Like you remember, like we went to this church in Maryland that just amazing. You go and get pizza and donuts. And, you're like, you're usually a little hungover on Sunday. And you're like, this is sweet. A little kick from that lemonade. You're like, this is perfect.
Yeah, God knows what I need.
But
yeah, church was fun. I thought the funnest thing about church was just kids playing and stuff, like a social environment.
Yeah.
And it used to be that was the place you saw anybody. They didn't have all this other stuff. You had to, fight off yellow fever all week and dysentery and get everybody's butts clean and everything, and then wagging them up to church. And that's where you'd see somebody and hope somebody would, with a little bit of money, would make love to your daughter, or that's where it happened. It all happened right there on the
And it's like there is something strange about, because also I spent my 20s and, my 30s very much opposed to it. And then I married this woman that is Catholic. And I mean, I was raised Catholic, but kind of culturally. But there is something about, there's a quietness there that, there's something meditative about it. And maybe because it's so boring, but there is something about like, I'm just standing there with my kids. I'm just sitting there with my kids. It's like the world slows down. Like you see why people go and why they have a connection to it.
Yeah, I love faith. I feel like I have a good faith. I like being able to close my eyes and I like to pray twice a day. I like to be able to think about God and talk or my God and ask him, what I can do for others and just things like that. Or if I need help, to offer me some suggestion. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, one of the best times I ever had in my life, or best I ever felt, was when I felt like I had a really strong connection to a higher power.
Yeah.
And I'd worked on it a lot, and it really came to fruition. And even if some people say, well, that's voodoo, whatever it is, doesn't matter. It worked. It worked as much as it was real, as far as I knew. And if that's the truth to me, then that's great.
Well, it's also, you talk about, you had mentioned before, ego, right? Like that humility, or just a concept of humility, is so necessary, right, to navigate this. Because if you let the ego take over, it's trouble. You know what I mean? And I know I know that to some people listening, we just sound like we're saying gobbledygook, but like, it is one of those, like when you're somebody that if you like I've struggled with my ego and stuff like that, it's like the only way you can get that in line is having some humility. And the premise of religion or belief system that there's a higher power is very kind of, it's like that's structurally, literally puts you in a position of humbleness. You know what I mean?
Because you're working alongside somebody else or for somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so grateful that there's something else out there that I can believe. Because, I think I rejected the world so much that I was in growing up that I wasn't going to take direction from anybody in it, probably. I hated my environment so much. I despised I despised my fucking environment, everything about it fucking hurt me. I felt like, right? That's how I felt anyway.
Yeah.
And so no one in the world of human probably would I ever really believe in, right? So you almost need this satellite to beam through this other entity to help me get adjusted to trust the world again. And so that's why because for me, and everybody can have their own thoughts. But for me,
as long as they're the same as mine, I'm fine with it.
But for me, man, because I wouldn't have believed, if you'd have said, hey, listen to this guy, I don't know if I would have done that. But you give me an invisible being, right?
Yeah.
Visually invisible, and there's just enough malleability in there for me to say, okay, I'm willing to try this. And then it opens up more of a door for me of of connection. Does that make any sense?
Yes. I think also even saying, I think, the whole agnostic, I don't know, that's just where you got to be. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't, I think that human beings are so arrogant, and the assumption that every generation has thought that they've had it figured out, and every generation has been wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even, so it's if we can't be like, we don't know, then we're really kind of starting from a bad position.
Lock myself out with the blender going. 2:30 in the morning, coked up out of my brain, right? Now I have to go to my landlord, dude, who lives right down the hall.
Oh, no.
And tell him, like, hey, man.
2:30 in the morning. I got locked out. And the blender's on, son. Oh my God, he must have hated you.
Oh, the blender shorts out and smoke happens. The fire alarm starts going off in the building right as I'm at his door knocking, right?
Oh my God.
So now he's pissed and he's like, what's going on? And I didn't know what to say. I told him that I was throwing a late Christmas party, dude. It was fucking end of January.
How old were you at the time?
Huh? Oh, this is 2.5 years ago. So I was 35. Bro, so he comes back to my apartment, right? He's fucking pissed. He unlocks the door. There's nobody in there.
Oh my God.
I'm like, man, but that's it. It was fun.
Oh my God.
That was fun.
How long did you live there for?
I still live there.
Whoa.
Yeah, we've patched. I mean, we've kind of, like I've caught him doing some things. So I think we're all even.
Also, I'm drinking like Monster Energy drinks sometimes, which are like piss magnets.
Yeah.
They're delicious, but they make you want to pee.
Make you want to beat your wife too, dude. I've seen a lot of dudes drinking Monster that they're going home to punch.
I don't know if the Monster is the cause of it. I think there's probably other factors.
Well, I'll say this. It's the beverage of choice of some of those gentlemen. I'll say that. Dude, we had owl 2 Thanksgivings ago. We had 2 owls at my sister's house.
Yeah, I saw one last night, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, it was pretty... No, not last night. Night before last. It was pretty fucking cool. Pulled into the driveway and an owl took off. It was big, too.
It's gross, I think.
Owls?
The meat.
Oh, you ate them, you're saying?
Yeah, but
You guys ate owls?
Yeah.
I don't think that's legal. You probably shouldn't say that on the podcast.
Well,
if you were a kid, okay, and you heard that Rocky song,
mm-hmm.
dun, 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 you could run faster.
Oh,
you would get more fired up. You'd be able to do more push-ups or
punch
more
your
chin-ups.
fucking stepdad. You know what I'm saying? You do it, yeah, but you will. Probably a lot of dudes.
Probably.
Dude, I remember being at the library when I was young, and this is back when they had books, you know?
What do they have now?
I don't even fucking know. Our library's still open? Who's in there? Just people trying to finger each other? Who's in a fucking library? Can you even imagine
I guess
being in a
people that
library?
just want books.
Yeah, but
what about
still,
homeless people? Do they allow homeless people in libraries?
Yeah, can we just start calling them shelters? You know what I'm saying? And serve lunch? And dude, we used to, good, dude. We used to fucking go, I remember driving to the Taco Bell and fucking doing steroids in the car, bro. We used to fucking, you know what I'm saying, bro?
Taco Bell parking lot?
Dog, I'd do 50 mLs just to fucking put down a fucking Mexican pizza, son. Let's go.
You're ready to get jacked. So I'm climbing right out of the sauna. See all the ice in there? So it's me coming. I worked out, and then I went, and they usually do this. So look at this chunk of ice. See that shit? I usually do this right after cardio. So this is like a cardio session.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
You look like one of those turkeys when they tie it up and it gets all like kind of like lined out.
What?
You know what I'm talking about? When they put that rope around that the ham and it's got all the fucking
my 6-pack.
Yeah. Damn.
It's called working out, son.
Yeah, it is, bro. I didn't know what that end game could be like, baby. That's freaking wild, dude. Congratulations, man.
Just keep working out and you'll get there too. That was in a race, but there was other times where you'd see him swim underwater and he would gyrate his body like a dolphin would. Yeah, weird as fuck, man.
Yeah, man. I never wanted to be a fish, man, my whole life. I didn't, man.
Whether or not this comedy thing was going to work out, I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Now I'm telling jokes? Jesus Christ.
And then telling people when you go back home and they've never seen you, they've never heard of you, they think you're gay. They're just like, you won't they're like, you keep flying home, you don't have any money, and you're not bringing a girl home.
You
have these
from
jokes.
Something.
Yeah, you're hiding from something. You know?
Yeah.
Just come out. I remember my stepdad is yelling at me in the yard one time.
Told you to come out?
Yeah. I was like, I'm not fucking gay, bro. I was like, I'm just not flying some girl home that I just met. You know, just to prove to you guys.
He thought he could catch you. He thought he could catch you to lie.
Yeah, he thought maybe he was gonna leave a yeah, like a
He's gonna set a trap.
yeah, he's gonna set a trap.
Yeah, he was setting a trap. Yeah, he's like a slick boxer. He's setting a trap for you. Just come out of the closet, boy. Like, what the fuck? Imagine if your grandma just shit all over your lawn. Just go out in the lawn and just she shits in the yard, shits on the lawn. Like, oh, grandma's out there shitting. I gotta go clean up her shit.
Yeah.
I love her, but God, I hate cleaning her shit.
Yeah, I would hate cleaning up probably human shit for some reason. But I remember
More than dog shit?
Well, when I was a kid, they had a boy in our neighborhood named Mario, right? And he was, dude, he ended up dying, actually. He did some pills and drove into an embankment. But when I was young, he would shit in his yard, make me bury it. And that's how I was allowed to be friends with him.
How did he make you bury it?
He just asked me to do it, and I was afraid not to do it, I think.
He said, hey, yo, dude, you're not going to believe this, but I took a shit, and it's out my yard. I can't even bury it because I'll throw up. Hey, do me a favor and go bury it?
Yeah. He was dark, man. He had a real dark vision. And he would, he probably, honestly, dude, he probably shit 200, 300 times, and I buried it.
No.
I swear to God.
Come on.
I swear to God. I swear to God, dude. And he
how'd you not run out of places to make new holes? Did you think you ever dug up old shit to put in new shit?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man. We basically had like the only setup I had, and I didn't even have a strong system. The only setup I had was like one of those plastic beach.
Oh no.
Like a beach setup. Dude, I'm talking I was 7.
So wait a minute. This 7-year-old was doing this? How old was he?
He was 8 or 9.
Oh, he's tricking you by being older.
He was older. And
2 years when you're 7 is a long stretch. You know, when you're 32, 32 to 34, that doesn't mean shit.
Whatever, dude.
7 and 9, that's a big stretch.
Yeah, you go shit at your house, buddy. That's what I tell people now.
But so for what was do you remember the first? There's no way you really remember.
I remember
what
100%.
he said.
I don't remember what he said, but I remember.
How did it happen? How did it happen? Will you find yourself with a plastic shovel and another person's shit going, damn. How did it come to this?
Well, it came to it because I know my brother probably wasn't around, and I wanted somebody to play with, and he was older, so I was hanging out, and he was deviant, man.
How so?
He just had a little bit of like he was kind of slithering. You know what I'm talking about? From
he knew how to manipulate you.
Yeah, he was.
Obviously, you buried his shit 200 plus times.
Like he had the same color in the outside of his eye and the inside of his eye. You know what I'm talking about?
A demon.
Yeah, like a light demon.
El Diablo.
Yeah, like a El Diablo, but also who was in elementary school.
Oh, interesting.
But dude, it is crazy. I bet a lot of people that have deficiencies and stuff like that.
What do you mean?
Immediately think you're their guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see somebody with like a vitamin deficiency or like severe, DNA deficiency or something, immediately being like a chromosome deficiency, being like, oh, this is our guy. This is our mayor. This is our Wizard of Oz. You don't think that at all? Come on, guy.
No, guy.
But I want to say this,
You know what,
bro.
guy? No, guy. Can I just say this, guy?
Yeah.
It's your tone, man.
Is it really?
And sometimes your tone, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's it.
My bad.
I have eyes. I look at myself in the mirror.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't go, hey, like Fonzie, right? I just go, you know what I mean? But and so when I was at that coffee shop with her the first day, it was a long couch we were sitting on. Mm-hmm. And she was really close to me. And she just locked eyes with me. And she was literally interested in about everything that I was saying.
Oh, that would scare me.
Yeah, and she was hot too. So I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was hard.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. My dick got hard. It's hard now.
Oh, that's cool.
You can't tell through the jeans.
You can't tell. Yeah, I can imagine telling at all. You know what? It happened with me. I went on a fast one time, and people know this, but they had this dude at the Best Buy, this boy named Ben, and I think he might have been a man. You don't know. You guys are kind of hide and go seek when it comes to what age you are. But I was so hungry, I hadn't eaten in 5 days, and I thought I could eat this man. Like everybody I just had this weird thought come in my head, like I could fucking eat this guy.
Yeah.
And he was Vietnamese. And I knew right then.
The way you say that, though, Vietnamese is real crazy.
Like, what do you mean, Vietnamese?
Vietnamese. I mean, the way you say it.
I don't move my neck like that.
Yeah,
like
Vietnamese.
No, I don't.
It's like you're back in Nam, and you're Kevin Dillon, and you're shooting a Vietnamese guy's leg, and he's hopping up and down. You go, yeah, Dan's Vietnamese. Right.
Dude, no, I say the Viettes, bruh. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
the
saying?
Viettes, yeah.
I'll fucking gum down a Viet in a heartbeat, man.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
yeah.
Because Vietnamese people, to me, very much a delicacy, very much edible and very like passionate to the face.
Yeah, no, man.
You don't think?
Nah, man. I think that.
What are you gonna eat? I dare you to eat a black woman, dude. She'll be pissed. What are you gonna fucking eat?
Yeah, her just
Yeah, you're having her leg, but she's just sitting up there like.
She's dead, but she's still. That's her like reflexes. You know what I mean? Is that?
I'll tell you what I didn't learn.
Okay, say something.
I didn't learn that a cup and a plate are the same fucking thing. They're not the same thing.
Depends on who you ask. Depends on where you are, how strong the gravity is in an area, how fresh the cup, how recently you made it, how warm is the clay. A fucking cup is just a plate is just a wide cup. The sides can't get along, bro.
A poem?
That's all it is.
Yeah.
No, man, that's the truth, dude.
Wow.
Go beat a plate apart with a hammer and then tape it together.
Yeah.
And don't do a good job.
So
You got
would a
plate.
bowl be the same as a plate?
Go beat a cup apart. I'm sorry, with a hammer.
That's true. You flatten it out. Maybe there's
And
a
tape
plate
it together.
Right.
What do you have?
You have a fucking plate, dude.
You got a plate.
And he fucking won.
How does he
Theo
do it?
Von, I don't know how you
How
do
does
it,
he
dude. You're crafty, dude, huh?
Chinkmate, man.
Would you say chinkmate?
I wouldn't say chink. I said checkmate.
I heard
chinkmate.
Oh my bro, don't set me up for racial shit.
I'm not.
Dude.
I'm not. But dude,
Whoa,
I
would never say
Can
that.
I just say this though, dude?
Yeah.
A couple of things you did already. Okay.
I would never say that,
Put
bro.
your fucking Tom Cruise Strictly Business glasses on, okay, dude? So this is what I'm saying, dude.
Dude, I just washed my hair today.
I know you look great. But what I was saying though is that you accused me of making tunnels.
Mm-hmm. I didn't say that. I said you might have
You
heard.
said chinkmate.
I would never say that, dude.
Clever pun.
Very clever.
I feel like for me, it's really hard for me to know what you guys' emotions are. Like I know like white emotion because I've been around it. You know,
Right.
it's very easy. But Asian people, I feel like they never pay attention to me.
Yeah.
I feel like that they don't care about white people. And I
That's
feel
crazy.
Really?
That's insane.
But they never say anything.
Yeah, well, the ones that don't speak English, maybe they don't say anything to me either.
But it seems weird if you care. Like I don't know, they just seem hard to interact with.
Like,
a lot
look
of
at me right
times.
now. I
Yeah.
love you.
I love you too.
No, I
man.
really do love you.
I love you too.
As a human being.
And I love you too as a human.
And does that feel good or no?
Yeah, I believe you.
You do believe me?
Yeah.
I was lying.
Wow.
That was good acting. Huh?
Unbelievable, dude.
I don't really have any feelings towards you.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Oh
You're a
my
piece of shit.
God,
You're a piece of
dude.
shit. Yeah.
That was
Like if you died, I would just be like, "What?
Oh, come on.
Theo died?" I'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, come on.
And I would just move on with my day.
Dude, I know
What?
this. You guys are going to control the future, though. I was just in China, and bro, you guys are coming in hot. Bro,
What do you mean?
there
What do you
were, some guy jumped off of a building, killed himself.
Yeah.
7 Asian people came out of him, like just a lot. Like it's
Whoa.
not ending, bro. It's not ending with the Asians. It's full. You guys are going full throttle. So love is in the air. You guys have been lovers for how long?
This is our 6th
6 years of loving.
Wow.
year
Yeah,
together.
And when was the first time that you guys, if it's okay to talk about it, when was the first time that you guys had sexual intercourse?
Probably
Well,
2 months. No, that's not true. A month into our relationship.
Month and it took
right?
a month
But he had to drive. I mean,
to
he had
Long
to put
Beach,
in
bro.
the work.
Every day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I went. She didn't even come to my place for a month.
Did he Uber or did he drive? down
I
there?
drove
He
to
drove.
fucking Long Beach every day.
I'm asking the woman. He drove down there?
He did, and he
And what
didn't
would he
try
do
to
when he
mask
came?
his filth either.
He didn't try to.
No, he didn't try. He didn't clean his car. He had piles of like bottles and just dirty underwear, everything.
Oh,
he
it reminds me of
wasn't
my
trying
dad, bro. It's so gross.
But I was like, okay, well, I respect that. This is his baseline, and he's not trying to front like he's anybody else.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there was no bait and switch, huh? Mm-mm. Did he?
There were a few, but more of a maybe an effort thing, not really a cleanliness thing.
Mm-hmm.
From the get go, I knew he was a pig, hygiene wise.
He was a hygiene risk, they call it.
Yeah, for sure. Hepatitis risk.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Wow. Are you asleep or awake?
I had to get my booster shot.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. He seemed like that guy who's definitely got that fever in him. You know, he's got the potential for fever.
Liver fever.
Oh, if you look, I couldn't even imagine seeing one of his blood cells under a microscope.
Who would even know? It's probably just sitting there fucking vaping, you know? So you guys, the full 1 month, and you guys got into sex. Now, how did that kind of start? Or where was the first date? I just want to learn about love. It's Valentine's. I want to learn about y'all's love.
We can talk about love.
What are you? Dude, I feel like I'm on Yellow Mirror. Have you seen that show? Got him!
Bro. Yellow Mirror was very good.
Thank you.
And I would have give you more of a laugh if I wasn't so enraged right now.
Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah.
But
let me say something right now, dude.
Okay.
That was fucking funny as fuck.
Thank you.
All right, but listen to me, okay?
Yeah, I am.
Don't talk to me that way.
I won't do that.
Okay, because I'm here as well.
Yes.
We fucked a month in.
Okay. So, yeah, I can't believe Brendan Schaub tried to bang your girlfriend, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
You mentioned that.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that there is, in my head, there is that fear.
Right. Do you think he would?
I think that if I had died, or if we broke up, that he would.
What if you just got really sick for like a week?
Like I was in a coma? If I could see that.
Coma, but you woke up to piss.
Yeah, but I was in like a sleeping coma, like walking around coma.
No. In the bed coma, but you get up to pee, so nobody.
So I'm not in a coma then. There's no coma like that.
There could be.
Okay, let's just. I have this weird disease where I'm in a coma, but I can pee.
Yeah.
And if I think that if
they call it the yellow sleep, they call it. You know.
I've had the yellow sleep.
Yeah. And it's just yellow because of peeing, not because you're Asian.
I don't know.
Okay, well.
I mean, when you said,
okay,
I know, but I'm just saying that
they call it.
I know, but
they call it.
I know, but what I'm saying though is that what I'm saying.
They call it General So's.
No,
rest.
yeah,
That's what they call it.
But it's just like I just want to say this is that. Just don't say yellow sleep.
My bad.
Again,
they call it the Kung Pao coma. That's what they call it. Pretty crazy, man. It's just tough, It's shit's getting real in these podcast streets. And I'll say this, Bobby, whenever you pass away of some, disease because you obviously have something. If you're sleeping 23 hours a day, bro, after that, you're asleep 24 hours a day. That's dead. So you're 60 minutes away from needing someone to take care of your beautiful girlfriend, brother. And don't you worry about it. I will make sure that, I know you've been making sure she stays asleep. I'll make sure she stays awake, brother. Love you guys, man.
And I'm going to say something crazy, and I've never really said this before, but I don't think I have any friends. Like, you're a friend, right?
Yeah.
But are we?
Yeah, we're friends.
I know, but
we're not like best friends.
Exactly.
No. But also in LA, it's hard because we live far away.
Yeah, in LA.
You sleep a lot, and we're both out of town a lot.
Don't blame it on me, man.
But you do sleep a lot.
That has nothing to do with our friendship.
So do you? So you guys had sex, and after that, then what happened? Because then you was there love in the air already? Was there pretty strong love, or were you guys still kind of figuring it out? Do you think? I'm just curious about love and like
in the
love.
Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Oh wow,
okay?
Somebody's getting mum.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. Okay, is that I met her on Tinder.
Yeah.
Right, and I was smashing grabs.
Wow.
Smashing grabs.
In fact, on our first date, he was showing me other Tinder dates he had
Yeah.
Wow. It was like that show, Supermarket Sweep. I think there was an episode of Highway to Heaven, actually, with Michael Landon and Victor French.
You love Michael Landon so much.
Well, most of America does. So this is why you're disconnected. But they had an Asian boy on there, and I think they picked him up. He was a hitchhiker. And they picked him up and dropped him off in a different town.
There's no way. Can you look that up, please? If there's an episode,
please look that up.
Yeah, if there was an episode of what's the show called?
Highway to Heaven.
Highway to Heaven, and if there was an Asian boy hitchhiking,
probably one of the 60 or 70 most popular shows.
I've never even heard of it, and that's the truth.
Really, Victor French won an Academy Award.